How to become an intern in the European Parliament. Hey guys, I'm Alex. I'm a 24-year-old master's student at Sciences Po Paris doing European affairs, and I just moved to Brussels for my internship. So one way to become an intern in the European Parliament is to go to the hemicycle with 720 CVs and tell MEPs that you're going to do the job, wir schaffen das, all of that. Or what might actually work is applying to so-called Schuman traineeships, which is the main traineeship scheme for the European Parliament. If you're doing a Schuman traineeship, you are working for the Secretariat of the European Parliament, so you're not linked to a specific party or a specific politician. The traineeship lasts 5 months, and if you want to join the next cohort, that means the one starting in October, you have to apply by the end of May, so you still have some time. If you saw my Blue Book traineeship video, you know that for the European Commission there was a pre-selection. This is not the case, or at least hasn't been the case. With the Schuman traineeship, there's no pre-selection. You simply see all the positions available, and there's hundreds of positions, and you apply directly. You can apply up to 3 of them. You submit your CVs and motivation letters, and if the unit likes you, they may reach back to you, ask for more documents, or invite you for an interview. Schuman traineeship also offers a sub-scheme for trainees with disabilities called Positive Action Schemes, so if you fall into this category, make sure to check that out. You can do a Schuman traineeship in various locations, so your grant will depend on the location. For Brussels, it's quite generous, relatively generous. It's set at 1,889 euros. Another way that you can be a trainee in the parliament, and ironically what I think most parents imagine when you say you're working in the EU, is that you can be a trainee for an MEP, so the member of the parliament. And this is less standardized, so the length of the traineeship can vary. The website mentions from 6 weeks to 5 months, but so can vary the pay. It can be up to 1,400. I'm not sure if they updated the website though. But yeah, so this is less standardized. It really depends on the specific MEP, and less formal is also the application procedure. So you reach out directly to MEP. Sometimes they make a call, sometimes they post something on LinkedIn or like on job sites, but yeah, there's not like a central scheme for all MEPs. Obviously your best bet is an MEP from your country, but this is not always the case. Sometimes it's better if you at least speak their language, but this is also not always the case. I know that MEPs from Nordic countries or from very small countries, they tend to be less strict on this. And another way to work in the European Parliament is to work for one of the political groups. So sometimes EPP, Greens, SD, all of them, they usually publish calls for trainees. Oftentimes it's around the same time as Schuman traineeship application because the cohorts kind of overlap. And yeah, that could be another good way of entry. Obviously, again, pay is not that standardized. The length is usually the same. Usually it's around those 4, 5, 6 months. But again, there's no centralized process for all groups. I would suggest that you follow them on LinkedIn or maybe sometimes on Instagram, and I'm sure they will post something if they're looking for trainees around that time. I would assume you're competing with fewer people for those positions because obviously not everyone would want to work for the same political group, but also there might be a better career progression after if you already get to meet the team, but that's never guaranteed, obviously. I don't know, I'm sure I forgot something. I'm sure there's something atypical even at the parliament. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Again, everything I said comes from the website. It's all publicly available information, so you can always check it out there. Good luck.